MAGA 2025 to get women to not have the right to vote, to not be involved in politics, to stay at home and have children, to not be able to own property, forced marriages, domestic violence is okay. There's some definite movements within those two spheres of influence that any woman should really fight against and say that's just not acceptable. That's just not the way our life is going to go, our country's going to go, and that you're going to vote anybody away from anybody that are starting down that road of Project 2025 or Magna. You need to really stand up for yourself. If that's what you want, if you want the right to vote. So they're talking about women staying home and having kids. And when you analyze the depopulation that's going on all over the world, and when you analyze that was Musk's thing, he said Elon Musk said he was keeping him up at night. When you analyze all that, you understand it's just rich people wanting slaves, wanting low wage labor. And so if the population's going down, there's less slaves for their fields and their manufacturing plants, and they're just worried about it for economic reasons. Same thing with climate change. Climate change, all it's going to do is force people to move from one place of the country to another, and it's going to cause a lot of financial upheavals. But so the right to have equal privileges with men are at risk. First time since the 1950s. So women really need to stand up and say no more. They need to march too and just say no more. We're not going to have this kind of byproduct of corruption and slavery. Don't forget that boycotting is very American. It is a way to show peacefully that you don't accept what's going on, that what's going on in your government is wrong. And it's been all over the world, and it's used to greater effect in other countries. But I think in this country, if they boycott these major companies and say, we're going to do this or do that or boycott this or that, they will have success. The other thing is demonstrations. Demonstrations are in fact legal and moral, and what you should do to show you're unhappy with your government. Now, Trump's going to try and make them illegal, I bet you 10 to 1. I would bet that he's going to try and make them illegal, or he's going to send people in to cause fights inside of the demonstrations so he can call in the local police or National Guard or whatever. You watch, this is like very likely scenario. So be careful. If you have your kids there, keep them away from anything that seems a little rowdy, and keep your tempers under control. Make it a peaceful occasion every time. And we might really start looking at a million-man walk, million-man march. Maybe even just like hundreds of thousands in each and every major city in the United States. And there's one more thing you could do, a massive thing. If you voted Republican, tell the Republican senators and congressmen, look, I won't vote for you again, and I'm going to tell everybody not to vote for you again. I'm going to give my money to your competition, whether independent or Democratic. So you do that. You go call them up, text them, write them, and say, you know what, this isn't acceptable. You're not going to hold office ever again if you do this. And it starts in 2 years. So that's what you can do if you don't like what's happening to our government. Those are 3 peaceful things to do. Vote against them, boycott, demonstrations, and tell your neighbors, tell your friends, look, this is destroying our government. And this is destroying our life. And we paid into this. This is not some sort of scam. We paid for this to be here when we got older, when we got sick, or when we became unemployed. So I was doing research months ago about where some of these ideas are coming from, and where these cultures are coming from. And they're coming from the slavery days. They don't want women to be able to have an abortion and to have a successful career before they have children. And they don't want blacks to be on equals with whites. I wasn't raised prejudiced, and so it's sort of